So it's been a while since I last uploaded on this channel and been active around this channel. I just had a lot of stuff going on, but I'm definitely ready to come back now with the year we're about to have in 2026 with movies and shows and, entertainment in general is looking peak this year in 2026. There's a lot to talk about. And yeah, I feel like it's a good time to jump back in. To be fair, this channel in the last couple of years has gone through a lot of revamp and changes. It used to be a Walking Dead channel. Of course, in the long term, it's not a very good plan, considering that universe is sort of dying out. And there isn't really much to talk about with The Walking Dead anyway. Right now, even with the spin-offs that are out, there isn't much going on in the Walking Dead verse. But which is why I shifted into movies and shows. I feel like it's more my thing, more of a better thing to talk about, especially this year. The movie, the genres in movies so far is declining, I would say. There's a lot of stuff that is going on with stuff like Star Wars and Marvel and, with Disney and big corporate companies. A lot of stuff going on with movies right now, which definitely need discussing. 2026 does look like a big year for movies, so I have to see where that goes. But yeah, this channel is sort of revamped into something different now because I've always had a dream of doing YouTube and stuff like this. So I think that it's for the best to revamp and change and do a bit of work to this channel. So I'm looking forward to what I can do with it and, to see where it goes in the future because, I've always done one specific topic with YouTube and I feel like now I can branch out and do a variety of different things. So yeah, I hope you guys can join me with this journey, see where we go with it. It's all for fun entertainment and see what we can, get out of it because movies right now are on a downward spiral. Especially certain franchises like Star Wars is on the brink of its death. I mean, it's probably, Star Wars is already dead, but for me anyway, personally, and a lot of other people, Star Wars is not worth watching right now under Disney. It just isn't. I won't put my time and effort into something where the people creating it isn't really bothered about what the fans want, and there isn't much effort going into it on their side. So I won't discuss that too much, but it's kind of ironic. I will be discussing a Star Wars topic today in this video. But yeah, like I just said, there are a couple topics I want to do in this video today. It's the first one is about Avengers Doomsday. At the end of this year, we're getting the big Marvel movie of the year. Of course, we're getting Spider-Man Brand New Day in a couple months, but the big one at the end of this year is really determining, and it is really big for Marvel and Disney itself. And the other topic is to do with Supergirl and Mandalorian Grogu. Which one will make more money? I think they're both doomed, but we're going to talk about that later. So let me know what you guys want to see on this channel, different topics and stuff. I've got a few ideas in mind, but if you guys do enjoy, please like and subscribe. And let's just get straight into it. So the first topic is Avengers Doomsday. Now, we heard in the last couple months that there is a lot of reshoots going on with the movie and that there is a lot of things going on surrounding Doomsday, that it's in post-production now, and obviously Secret Wars is in pre-production. So, which is kind of interesting, Doomsday, what we've seen so far with the trailers at the start of the year, but each individual story was quite interesting, but since then there has been absolutely no build up to the movie whatsoever. Now it is, quite clear and maybe that we're going to get a trailer this week, maybe on Thursday, because it is CinemaCon this week, and last night we did get a few things with Spider-Man. And reportedly, we know Disney have their panel on Thursday, so to close it out, we could expect an Avengers Doomsday trailer this week. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one. I think we deserve one, and I think we need to see one, because we haven't really seen much in the last few months when it comes to Doomsday, since those mini trailers with the individual characters. But the main topic I wanted to talk about Avengers Doomsday was the budget of the film, which came out not long ago, and it is reportedly that the movie is one of, if not the most expensive movie ever created, coming in around, about $400 million, but it could rise to about $700 million with marketing and stuff like that and everything else they need to do with the movie, which is absolutely mental for a company with Marvel itself being very up and down in the last few years in the 2020s. Before that, we had, banger after banger with Marvel, before all of this with the Infinity Saga, and now it's gone very much downhill, and we have seen a decline with Marvel and the IP it's just been very hit and miss, with a lot of things just not living up to expectations, and there hasn't really been a cohesive story when it comes to building up to Doomsday, which is a shame because we had that so perfectly with the Infinity Saga, and now it just feels like we're going nowhere with the Multiverse Saga. And the Multiverse Saga was such a interesting saga to build around and to go forward with, because it's just like 20 plus years of movies inside the Marvel universe that you can build around, and they just sort of didn't do any of that at all. And yeah, this news coming out with the budget being one of, if not the most expensive movie ever created, kind of scary, because will Marvel actually make any profit off this movie at all if it's just costed them so much to make? It's kind of worrying to see. We're going to have to wait and see the end of the year. I'm looking forward to Doomsday, I really am, but it's kind of hard to keep up, the hype up when we haven't really seen much from the movie yet. We also do know that there were test screenings reportedly recently, and it was said that this movie is the best movie since, actually ever in the Marvel that's ever been made. That was what was reported. It's the best Russo's Marvel movie that they've created, and it's the best Marvel movie created. So this all could be to get a little hype up, and it's probably may not be true, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens. There's more and more news that comes out about Doomsday every day. So we're going to have to wait and see what more comes. And hopefully we do get to see a Doomsday trailer this week. I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's quite worrying when you see that the budget of the movie is one of the most expensive movies of all time. And that comes down to most of it being on Robert Downey Jr. and a lot of the actors and, production on this movie and stuff like that. So that is kind of worrying. But again, like I just said, we're going to have to wait and see. The next topic I have, like I said, is between Supergirl and Mandalorian and Grogu, which movie is going to make more money. It's kind of, a hard one to predict, because I don't think either of them are going to make a lot of money. I think both of them have their individual reasons. I think when it comes to Mando and Grogu, like I said at the start of the video, Star Wars is a dying franchise, a dead franchise already. Apparently, according to fans, Maul Shadow Lord is a very good show. I haven't seen it, so I can't say. I'm probably not going to watch it, but apparently it's had positive feedback on it, so I can't say much else on that. But other than that, when it comes to Star Wars overall, it's just a very much dead franchise when it comes to Disney Star Wars. The old Star Wars won't ever be beaten. Disney Star Wars has just completely, just killed it. And I think that is the main reason why Mandalorian and Grogu isn't going to make a lot of money. Now, yes, it's the first Star Wars movie since Rise of Skywalker in 2019. And I think that is a big reason why it might attract people in cinemas, because there hasn't been a Star Wars film in cinemas for so long. But I think once word gets around about how dead and deflated Star Wars has been in the last few years, I think people just aren't going to be interested. This is just another season of The Mandalorian. Let's not forget that they stopped The Mandalorian season 4 so we would have this movie. So they would make this movie instead of season 4 of The Mando and Grogu, which makes no sense to me. It's when it comes to that movie, I just don't think it's going to make more than $400 million, to be honest, in the box office. I think it hasn't got much hype around it. The trailers were terrible. They didn't get much hype either. The ratio of those trailers were absolutely disgusting when it comes to Star Wars, the Star Wars IP. So I think that overall, I don't think Mando and Grogu is going to make a lot of money, to be honest, because of how dead Star Wars is and how people just aren't interested in it anymore. How it's just been so killed off by Disney that it's just lost all the fans and the engagement of the fans, which is why, in my opinion, I don't think it'll make a lot of money. And that's why I think Supergirl will make not a lot more money, but I think Supergirl will make more money. Don't get me wrong, I don't think Supergirl is going to perform as highly as James Gunn and, fans expect or want it to, or, I just don't think it's going to be performing in the box office as much as we, first thought it would when it comes to the DCU, because of, Millie Alcock and stuff going on around, surfacing around the movie when it comes to her and the fans. I think that is one of the main factors as to why, you know, like the anti-woke comments made and stuff like that. And I think that's going to put a lot of people off. You know, don't get me wrong, I think it will make a lot more money than the Mando and Grogu. But overall, I don't think it will make a lot more, to be honest. I think it will make more, but not significantly more, just because of everything going on that's surrounding the movie, which I think is going to put some fans off. So yeah, I don't really know what to expect from Supergirl. I think they got David Cornsweet in it just to, you know, hype it up a little bit more when it comes to the trailers, just to show him off, so it would entice fans, because Superman wasn't, you know, it was a successful movie when it comes to some fans, but overall in the box office it didn't perform as highly as people expected. And I think Supergirl is already, you know, destined to probably be a failure due to the fact of fans, you know, backlash and stuff surrounding Supergirl right now, and Millie Alcock and the fans. So I think that's a reason why it won't make as much, but I think it will make more than the Mandalorian and Grogu. But I think they're probably just both as doomed as each other, to be honest, when it comes to the box office. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think when it comes to the box office between those two. Are you guys invested in either of them or not? I would probably suggest and assume not, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens when they both release and when we get the numbers of the box office for those individual releases. And of course, Doomsday at the end of the year, which I am looking forward to, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this return video on the channel. Let me know what you guys want to see. I would love to continue doing stuff like this because it is a dream of mine, like I said. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.